Sthapakaye cha dharmaisya sarvadharmasarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. I bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, who is the establisher of all religions, who is the embodiment of all religions, and who is foremost among the avatars in this age. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Peace, 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 Bhagavad. This morning our subject is the magnitude of Ramakrishna's life. On 6th February 1898, Swami Vivekananda went to a devotee's house in Ramakrishnapur, Howrah, to install an image of Ramakrishna. After worshipping the Master, he composed this salutation mantra, which I just recited. All great men's lives are generally short. Jesus lived only 33 years. Shankara 32 years. Ramakrishna lived only 51 years. Chaitanya 48 years. Vivekananda 39 years. But it does not depend upon how long you are in this world, how much you have accomplished in a short time. That counts everything. Ramakrishna was born in 1836, came to Calcutta at the age of 17 in 1852. Then he lived in Dakshineshwar, Temple Garden, for 30 years. What did he do? He experimented. Religion. Is religion true? Does God really exist? Or it is a fancy? He was a great scientist. He undertook religion very seriously and experimented, verified, experimented and verified. And he realized God in many ways. He practiced sadhana for 12 years. Then, when the heart filleth, mouth speaketh, when there is honey in the flower, the bees come of their own accord. In 1879, Ram and Manomohan, two householder devotees of Ramakrishna, came, reading Brahma's paper about him. Then next 5-6 years, from 1880 to 1885, most of his disciples came and he trained them, who carried his message. Now we see the impact of his life and teachings. It is really wondered that how a poor, illiterate temple priest created such a great impact in the religious history of the world. It is really wonderful. To me, Ramakrishna is just like supersonic Concorde jet. It flies 57,000 feet above the ground and it has 1500 miles per hour speed. Ordinary jet, 500 to 600 miles per hour speed, and it flies maybe 35 to 40,000 feet above the ground. It takes 2.5 hours from Washington DC to London by Concorde, and it takes 7 hours by an ordinary jet. Ramakrishna's speed. He compared an avatar's life with a speedy boat. A boat goes very fast. When it disappears, at that time we find the waves are splashing on the shore. But you do not see the boat. It has gone very far away. Similarly, the avatar's life is not recognized during his lifetime. After his passing away, people come to know about his greatness, importance, vastness, and magnitude. One day Ramakrishna asked one of his disciples, "Could you count how many disciples I have?" "Master, 31. "Oh, not too many." I sometimes make joke, if Avatar gets 31, at least I get 50, 60, not bad. One day Sri Ramakrishna saw a barge going over the Ganges. He was asking, how long will it take to reach Sinchura? "Oh, Master, if it goes by the high tide, by natural course, it will take 1 day. How long it will take if it is connected with a steamer? Oh, it may be 2-3 hours. He meant, I am that barge, I am that steamer. If you hold me, you will reach your destination very soon. Romarola, the famous French writer, wrote in Ramakrishna's life. He really understood the magnitude of Ramakrishna's life. He said, "I am bringing to Europe, as yet unaware of it, the fruit of a new autumn, a new message of the soul, the symphony of India, bearing the name of Ramakrishna. The man whose image I here evoke was the consummation of 2,000 years of spiritual life of 300 million people." Those two sentences are very, very clear. Our tradition tells us that God incarnates when religion declines, irreligion prevails. We find in the history of the world why does religion decline? Because people do not practice religion. They become hypocrite. They show all kinds of hypocrisy. In the Vishnu Purana, there is a beautiful verse, Swadharma karma vimukha Krishna Krishna iti vadino te harer deshino mudha dharmartam janmayate harihi. There are some people, they pray God, 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 God. They do not practice religion at all. Just verbally utter some words. But they are enemies of God. Because they force God to be born in this earth to demonstrate how to practice religion. You see, when religion declines, it goes very down. Ordinary saints, ordinary people cannot change the evil thought current of the world. We need a very powerful person. That is the reason Avatar incarnates. God incarnates as an avatar, as a human being. I remember one of my friends used to tease me, well, Hinduism is a very weak religion. I asked why? Because in Hinduism, God is born again and again. You have so many avatars. Look at Christianity, one Jesus, that's it. In Buddhism, one Buddha, that's it. In other religion, they have a one prophet, that's it. Then I replied, well, God loves to be born. Where will he go? If he goes to Christianity, he will be again crucified. If he is born in other religions, he will be beheaded. If he declares that I am God, he will be beheaded then and there. So God comes to India, good place to be born, you know. We love gods very much, so God always comes to India to be born. We are good people. Each avatar is endowed with equal divine power, but they do not release the same power. They release that much power which is needed for that particular age. Let me give an analogy. Here is a golfer. Sometimes he hits the golf ball very hard. Perhaps it will go 200, 300 feet. Sometimes medium hit, 100 feet, 50 feet. But when the ball comes very near to the hole, just gentle touch. Then ball goes to the hole. But that man has power. He can hit ball according to his need. Same way we think about the avatars. Each avatar has equal power, but they do not release it. Rama killed Ravana. Krishna killed Kamsa and a few demons and established Dharma. Buddha was against animal killing. He brought the religion of ahimsa, non-violence, and compassion. Jesus, in Judaism there are 3 schools: Pharisees, Sadducees, and Essenes. They had so many rules, they define all the laws of Moses, they explained, and they make religion very complicated. Jesus came and brought the religion of love and compassion and forgiveness, and removed all those paraphernalias of religion. Ramakrishna was born. He did not have any strength to kill a demon. He seldom could walk properly. But he killed the greatest demon one can think of. What is the name of that demon? Samshaya, doubt. He killed the doubt of human mind about God. You see, to kill you, it doesn't, one bullet is enough to kill you. I'll not have to throw the atom bomb on you. But if I throw an atom bomb, that I cannot kill your doubt. Doubt is a very powerful demon, dwells in human mind. Most of the human problems come from doubts and desires. So Sri Ramakrishna killed those. Very subtle, very difficult to kill. Dimension or extent of their activities, I am just trying to give you a picture of the different avatars of different ages. Rama's activities we find, he was born in Ajodhya in UP, a few states then he went to Chitrakoot, which is in Madhya Pradesh, then Dandakaranya, Panchavati, Rameshwaram, Sri Lanka. This is the path, the power of activities we find of Rama's life. Krishna was born in Mathura, went to Vrindavan, Gokula, then went to Dwaraka, came to Kurukshetra, Magadha, just a few states, UP, Gujarat, and a little bit Bihar, very short area, his activities. Buddha, Kopilavastu, a few places in Nepal, UP and Bihar, only limited area we see the Buddha's movement. Jesus, look at Galilee, Samaria, Judea, Idumea. These are the 4 small Jewish colonies on the shore of the Mediterranean Sea. That is the way we see the movement of Jesus. Now the world is a global village. Sri Ramakrishna did not travel much, except a little pilgrimage in Devghar, Varanasi, Vrindavan and Prayag. But what he invaded Calcutta. The citadel of the materialistic thought current of the world and the capital of British India. You know, in 40s, I remember when we were in school, we used to read, "The sun never sets in British Empire." They have colonies all over the world. I remember I used to tell that thing to a friend in Hollywood. His name was Byron Webster. He was from Scotland. Byron said, "Swami, nowadays the sun seldom rises in British Empire." Because they lost all their colonies and England most of the time is overcast. Byron was so funny. Well, Swami, the sun now seldom rises in British Empire. You see, American people, they did not invade the whole Iraq. They just invaded the Baghdad, the capital. You will not have to invade every village of that country. So Sri Ramakrishna invaded Calcutta. That means the whole British Empire collapsed. Actually, it happened. He went to see the Calcutta fort. And the Sikh regiment was marching. And seeing Ramakrishna, they dropped all their rifles and knelt down to Ramakrishna. And the British commander was thinking, what is the matter? You are not supposed to drop your guns? Well, no, it is our rule. The moment you see your guru, you must drop everything and bow down. So Sri Ramakrishna sitting in the horse carriage, conquered all the Sikh regiment, chewing some perhaps fennel seed. It takes time to spread the message of an avatar. Rama and Krishna's eternal message of truth and Dharma were recorded by Valmiki and Vyasa. The Gita, the main message of Krishna, has been translated in most of the languages in the world. Buddha's message spread in 250 BC during the time of Ashoka. It took 250 years. At that time, the 1/3 population of the world were Buddhists in 250 BC. But Buddhism has spread through Maittreyi and Karuna, friendship and compassion. No force. No forceful conversion. Christianity went to England in 597 AD by Augustine. At that time, Gregory was the Pope in Rome. You see, at that time there was an advantage. If you can convert the king and queen, the whole country will be converted. But those days are gone. Just convert the queen. Queen will give mantra at night to the king, bas. It is all mantra. Ramakrishna's message of harmony of religions, the universality of truth, the oneness of Godhead, and the divinity of the soul spread within 7 years after his passing away. Ramakrishna died in 1886, and Vivekananda brought that message to America in 1893 and represented Vedanta at the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. The need of the age. When we study the religious history of the world, we find other religions did not exist during the Rama and Krishna, prehistoric age. Then came Judaism. Then in the 6th century BC, 3 religions evolved in this world. Zoroastrianism in Persia, Buddhism in India, and Confucianism in China. 600 BC. Then came Christianity. During Christ, there was Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Zoroastrianism, Confucianism. Islam originated in 570 AD. During Ramakrishna, there are many religions, many sects. The Mother Earth needed a person who could harmonize all religions. It was Ramakrishna who did it. Mahatma Gandhi made a remark, Ramakrishna's life was a parliament of all religions. In 1894, Swami Vivekananda said, I have a message to the West as Buddha had a message to the East. What was his message? Vedanta. And Ramakrishna was the embodiment of Vedas and Vedanta. In the ideal of universal religion, Swamiji said, Ramakrishna was the embodiment of all the past religions of India. All the ideas that I preach are only an attempt to echo his ideas. There is a saying, we have enough religion to hate one another, but little religion to love one another. Nowadays there is so much intolerance and hatred and bloodshed in the name of religion. One sect is trying to wipe out the another sect through fighting. Ramakrishna's tolerance towards religion is phenomenal. Do not fight. As Jesus says, love one another. We must exist together. Otherwise we shall die together. One day Girish Chandra Ghosh talked about Kartavaja sect, some left-handed tantra. He said, this sect is very bad for the society. I must write a drama on them. Sri Ramakrishna said, no. There are some good people in that sect also. There are some people in that sect attained God. How can you wipe out those people? It is not right. In this connection, I shall tell you a touching incident which happened on 23rd February 1896. Swami Vivekananda wanted to give a lecture on his guru in New York on my master. The lecture was held in Madison Square Concert Hall. Miss Laura Glenn was present. She wrote in her memoirs. The hall was packed. Swamiji came in. Seeing the audience, something happened. What happened, we heard from one of our senior Swamis. He noticed it and he said, my goodness, why should I speak about my master to these people? They are very much attached to lust and gold, and my guru was free from lust and gold. If I talk about him, these people will not understand my guru. It is better not to talk about him. He was about to leave from the podium. Sri Ramakrishna appeared before him. He said, Naren, speak about me to these people. It will do good to them. Swamiji came back and began to speak. It was a long lecture. That is the only lecture he gave about his guru in America. And the same lecture he gave in Wimbledon in England. He got up, and first he started to speak about the evolution of the avatar, religion, all these things he talked about his personal life. Then when came about his teachings, he bombarded. I shall read that bombardment to you. This book is removed from the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, because Swamiji did not want it. First listen what he said. Men and women of today, if there be among you or any pure, fresh flower, let it be laid on the altar of God. If there are among you and who, being young, do not desire to return into the world, let them give up. Let them renounce. This is the one secret of spirituality, renunciation. Dare to do this. Be brave enough to do it. Such great sacrifices are necessary. Can you not see the tide of death and materialism that is rolling over these Western lands? Can you not see the power of lust and unholiness that is eating into the very vitals of society? Believe me, you will not arrest these things by talk or by movements of agitation for reform, but by renunciation, by standing up in the midst of decay and death as mountains of righteousness. Talk not, but let the power of purity, the power of chastity, the power of renunciation emanate from every pore of your body. Let it strike those who are struggling day and night for gold, that even in the midst of such a state of things, there can be one to whom wealth counts for nothing. Put away lust and wealth. Sacrifice yourselves. But who is it that will do this? Not the worn out or the old, bruised and battered by society, but the earth's freshest and the best, the strong, the young, the beautiful. Lay down your lives. Make yourselves servants of humanity. Be living sermons. This, and not talk, is renunciation. Do not criticize others, for all doctrines and all dogmas are good. But show them by your lives that religion is no matter of books and beliefs, but of spiritual realization. Only those who have seen it will understand this. But such spirituality can be given to others, even though they be unconscious of the gift. Only those who have attained to this power are amongst the great teachers of mankind. They are the powers of light. The more of such men are any country produces, the higher is that country raised. That land, where no such men exist, is doomed. Nothing can save it. Therefore, my master's message to the world is, be ye all spiritual. Get ye first realization. You have talked of the love of man. Till the thing is in danger of becoming words alone, the time is come to act. The call now is, do, leap into the breach and save the world. I remember I asked Christopher Isherwood to write the foreword of my hippie book, Meditation and Its Methods, and he put that quote which has been omitted in the complete verse in his introduction. Very interesting. Now what happened? The moment Swami fired, many people left the hall. Next day, in the New York, on the newspaper, wrote criticism against Vivekananda. In the morning, Swamiji read the paper and he wept bitterly. He cried. He was stung with remorse. He said, "My master never condemned anything or anybody. But while I was speaking of him, I criticized the people of America for their dollar-worshipping spirit. That day I learned the lesson that I am not yet fit to talk of him." That is Swamiji's greatness. When he makes a mistake, he says, "I made a mistake." Most people try to philosophize their mistakes, try to hide their mistakes. No way. Vivekananda was never be that way. I made a mistake. I must correct it. No human being is perfect. That is Swamiji's human aspect. Beautiful. So, he asked, "Please remove that portion from my lecture." Next, Sthapakaya cha dharmasya. Sri Ramakrishna came to establish religion. What kind of religion? Eternal religion. Which means it can practice by all people, in all places, in all the time. That is called Sanatana Dharma. Some religions are practiced by a small number of people, in a small place, and a limited time. That is not eternal religion. Eternal religion is that which can be practiced by all people, by all the time, all through the ages. That is called eternal religion. What does it mean? It means that is the truth. Truth never changes. Sometimes I give this quote. Jesus said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." That is the only simple sentence which is said 2000 years ago. Still that sentence is true. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. So that is the eternal religion, he taught. Let me give you an illustration. Monu, the great Hindu lawgiver, told 10 signs of religion. First, patience. Second, forgiveness. Third, controlling the mind. Fourth, non-stealing. Purity, controlling the senses. Discrimination, self-knowledge. Truthfulness, controlling of anger. These are the 10 signs of Dharma. What do? The 10 signs, they will build your character. Character. It is extremely important to build character. Otherwise, what will happen if you do not practice your Dharma? The whole society will be in chaos. It will disintegrate. Dharma, duty. If the doctor does not do his duty, if the nurse does not do his duty, if the teacher does not do his or her duty, if business people do not do their duties, their whole place will be in chaos. If the police people do not do their duty, it will be a chaos. Duty. You must do your duty. That is called religion. Dharana dharma mityahu. Religion holds us. Our duties are holy. Your family will disintegrate if you do not practice your duties. If the husband does not do his duty, wife does not do her duty, children do not do her house duty, there will be chaos in that house. There will be chaos. You must do your duty. If you want to bring peace, joy, and harmony in home, you must practice your duty. Sri Ramakrishna taught it. Build your character, which is indispensable in the social life. Morality and ethics are good, no doubt, but that is not the end of religion. Ramakrishna says, the goal of human life is to realize God. Religion means realization. Religion means direct experience with God. Religion means the manifestation of divinity, manifestation of perfection, which is within all of us. That is the reason Christ said, be ye perfect, as our Father in heaven is perfect. That perfection is very important in our day-to-day life. No wife cares for imperfect husband, or husband does not like an imperfect wife. We want imperfect doctor, perfect wife, perfect children, perfect friends, perfect neighbors. Then we find just right. You know, we are all seeking for perfection. You do not go to a quack dentist who will grab your good one and leaving the bad one will extract this one. We want perfect doctor, perfect everyone in our society, in our family. Sri Ramakrishna says, the goal of religion is not God. Religion is a path. But that path leads us to our goal. What is the goal? The goal is God. There we find peace, bliss, which you cannot find in the market. You cannot go on the snooks and buy peace and bliss. It is within us. Ramakrishna came to make religion simple. He told one of the devotees, if you want to learn God in one sentence, come to me. And if you want to know God in 1,000 sentences, go to Keshav. He is a great orator. He will give a fantastic sermon, lecture. Go to him. He came to make the religion simple. I am a householder. What can I do, sir? Let the boat be in the water, but not water in the boat. You live in this world. Let not worldliness enter inside you. Sir, why can I not see God? You do not see the stars at daytime, but that does not mean stars do not exist. At night you can see the stars. So God exists. You develop your spiritual sight, then you will see God. Sir, how can I practice? How can I see God? He said, can you weep once a day? People shed tears for wife, for children, for money. Who weeps for God? His answers are very, very direct. What is needed to realize God? Vyakulata, yearning, longing. When you see the golden glow in the eastern horizon in the morning, that means the sun will rise very soon. Similarly, the moment you have this yearning, longing, hunger for God, that means you will realize God very soon. But sir, how can I develop that kind of yearning, longing? See the magnitude of his teachings. Have 4 things. Have the company of the holy, first. Second, chant God's name. Third, time to time go to solitude and pray. Fourth, have a little discrimination. What is real? What is unreal? Sir, please tell us something more. Go forward. Then he told a story. There was a poor woodcutter who was told by a holy man, hey, go forward. You are selling only firewood in the market, you are making very little money. So he went further and he found a sandalwood forest. Sandalwood is very expensive. So he cut that sandalwood and sold the market and made a lot of money. Then he remembered, the holy man told me, go forward. He went farther. He found a copper mine, then silver mine, then gold mine, then diamond mine, and became very rich. This is the way Sri Ramakrishna used to teach. Stagnation means death. Expansion is life, contraction is death. Move forward. Never stop in your life. For the time being, you may find that I do not find the way, but create hunger, exert yourself. Self-effort is very vital in spiritual life. He told his devotees, I made fire, you come and get the heat. I cooked food, you come and enjoy the meal. I made the mold, you just put yourself into there and cast yourself. I made everything ready for you. Well, sir, I did many mistakes in my life, what shall I do? He made a beautiful remark, Ami kormonasha, ami forastanga. I destroy people's actions, your past actions, I can destroy. Ami forastanga, I am the French colony. What does it mean? It means during the India, in our time, it was divided by was occupied by 3 foreign countries, British, French and Portuguese. I am the French colony. If you do something wrong in British India and take shelter in French India, the British people cannot punish you. That is the way Aurobindo escaped from Chandanagar to Pondicherry. Those are all French colonies. So Farajdangat, that means you may do anything wrong in this world, but if you take shelter in me, you are saved. Nobody can do any harm to you. That is said. Not only that, এখানে যারা আসবে এই বাচ্চাদের শেষ জন্ম. Those who will come here, this will be their last birth. He made some beautiful remarks. Please, sir, what shall I do? Just efface your ego. Naham, naham, tuhu, not I, but thou. As long as you have ego, you will never see God. Be humble. Jesus also taught, blessed are the humbles. He did not prescribe too many rituals that you will have to take bath, you will have to change your cloth, you will have to put mark, or you will have to put some holy clothes. No. Just unite your mind and your speech and just pray and talk to God. He came to make religion very simple, very straightforward religion. Ramakrishna came to teach the religion of today, constructive and not destructive. He had to go afresh to nature to ask the facts. And he got science of religion, which never says believe, but see. I see, and you too can see. Use the same means and you will reach the same vision. The magnitude of his teachings. One day in Dakshineshwar, Sri Ramakrishna was talking about Vaishnava religion. What is the Vaishnava religion? Chaitanya told to his main disciple Sanatana, Name ruchi jivedaya Vaishnava sevan yahabina dharmanai shuno sanatan. These three things are the essence of religion. Name ruchi, taste in God's name, chant God's name. Jivedaya, compassion to human beings. Vaishnava sevan, and serve your fellow beings. These three things are the essence of my religion. Chaitanya said. Sri Ramakrishna listened to it and said, Jivedaya, compassion to the people? Who are you to show compassion? Only God can show compassion. You are an ordinary person, it is your ego. You think I show compassion to you. Be grateful to me. It is ego. Then he said, in an ecstatic mood, Jibe daya noy, Shivo gyane, Jivo seva. It is not compassion to the people. It is serving human beings as God. That is said. Swami Vivekananda was present on that occasion, and he came out from Sri Ramakrishna's room and told his brother disciples, I saw a new light in the message of the Master today. I found how he reconciled non-dualistic Vedanta with devotion. Shiva Gyane, think all human beings as God. That is non-dualistic Vedanta. I am God, you are God, every being is God. Seeing, that is called Sarvabhuta Brahma Darshan. Seeing Brahman in every being. That is Vedanta. And then, Seva, serving human beings, thinking them as God. That is worship. You see, that is the philosophy of the Ramakrishna mission. Whole Ramakrishna mission's philosophy depends on these two lines of Sri Ramakrishna. We are not social workers. We serve human beings as God. See the magnitude of his teachings. That simple 2 words he used, Shiva Gyana Jiva Seva, that 2 words was magnified and experimented, and Swami Vivekananda brought those words as the motto of the Ramakrishna mission. See the magnitude of his teaching? All these 173 centers of the Ramakrishna Order, 1800 monks, they are now experimenting and doing this kind of service to humanity. See the magnitude of his teachings? The magnitude of his teachings we are watching every day all over the world. Romarola wrote in the epilogue of Ramakrishna's life, the man himself was no more. His spirit had departed to travel along the path of collective life in the veins of humanity. I love this sentence very much. The man himself was no more. His spirit had departed to travel along the path of collective life in the veins of humanity. Very poetic. We see this is happening. During Ramakrishna's time, his disciple counted 31 disciples. Perhaps now, hundreds and hundreds of millions of people love and worship Ramakrishna all over the world. I remember in 1992, I went to Avila, the birthplace of Saint Teresa in Spain. There was a big conference of contemporary mysticism, and I was asked to speak on Ramakrishna, the great mystic. I told them, in the 21st century, what religion will take the vital role? Doctrine and dogma will not be able to hold religion. Only mysticism. People say that we read enough, we heard enough, we want to practice, we want to experience something. That age has come. And Ramakrishna's life and message will answer that question. Second, Swami Satprakashananda ji of Boston lent a copy of the Gospel of Ramakrishna to a professor in Harvard, and he opened the book, he found woman and gold is Maya, he closed the book and returned the book to Swami. Swami said, did you read it? No, Swami, woman and gold is Maya. If there is no woman and gold, what is left? Nothing. So this book is not for me. Then Swami said, take the book back. Take that portion which suits you. Not necessarily you will have to take all teachings of Ramakrishna. He took back, read the whole book. Then he said, Swami, now we understand that Ramakrishna's life is a true answer to our society. Our society is guided by dollar king and sex queen. Ramakrishna's life gave the answer of those two basic things. There's one great he told about Sri Ramakrishna's teaching on Kamini Kanchan, lust and gold. He said, in this age, the representative, the propounder of sex life is Freud. And the propounder of the money is Karl Marx. Ramakrishna's Kamini Kanchani Maya, lust and gold or Maya, are the true answers of these two representatives of these in this modern age. It is true. Ramakrishna's message. I went to, in 1998, I went to Brazil and Argentina. I met a woman in Brazil. She is very learned. Her husband was very well-to-do. And she was translating the whole Gospel of Ramakrishna. She did it into Portuguese. And she started to translate Ramakrishna, the great master, into Portuguese. And she presented all books to me. Those books are in my room. This woman's whole time job is to translate Sri Ramakrishna into Portuguese language. Then I went to Argentina. I am just telling you the magnitude of Ramakrishna's teachings. I went to Argentina. I met a man, recently divorced. He came to me and said, Swami, I read your book, They Lived with God. I have very little knowledge in English, but I read that book with the help of English-Spanish dictionary. I cannot believe, my goodness. Could you believe that in this volume, 500 pages book, this man read with the help of a dictionary? How much patience and love and devotion that man had for Ramakrishna. Nowadays, so many yogis and gurus and religious leaders in this country came from India and other countries. They read Gospel of Ramakrishna. They even talk about spiritual life, taking Ramakrishna's teachings without mentioning his name. I know it. I remember one of our devotees here in St. Louis who was going to that Asian seminary in the Webster University. She read the Gospel of Ramakrishna and she made a beautiful remark. Swami, there is only one defect in this book. That the book has an end. This book has an end. That is the only defect of this book. We have a professor of mathematics. He was a friend. He is British. He said, Swami, I love Ramakrishna for two reasons. I read the Gospel. First, he does not speak anything irrational. Very rational. And second, he is an expert to solve problems. When people come and ask some question, he says, sit down, listen to a story. He tells a story and solves the problem. Well, these are the two reasons I like Ramakrishna. I remember when I was in Hollywood, one actress told me, Swami, I am coming to Vedanta for 7 years, I am not getting anything. I told her that, don't say that. Can you not see what you were 7 years back and at present? Then she said, yes, I see some change, Swami. I was a wild woman in New York. Now I just come down, I am must sober now. I said, if you would not get anything, you would not come here next time. Second time, you would not come to Vedanta if you would not get anything here. You get, you do not know. Sometimes the teachings of Ramakrishna and Vedanta work imperceptibly, like the gentle dew in the autumn, which nourishes the trees and plants, flowers and fruits. Then when the sun rises, the dew drops disappear. But whole night, those dew drops nourishes the trees and plants. Similarly, these Ramakrishna's teachings and his life, like dew drops, nourishes our spiritual life. Thank you. Advaita tattva samahita chittam prajjala bhakti patabrita vrittam karma kali varamadbhuta chestam yami gurum sharanam avavaidyam. I surrender myself to my Guru, the man God, the physician of the malady of this samsara, relative existence, whose mind ever dwelt on the non-dualistic truth, whose personality was covered by the cloth of supreme devotion, who was ever active for the good of humanity, and whose actions are all superhuman. May his name be ever victorious. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.